Bugün 7 Temmuz 2025 Pazartesi günü Bükreş'te Romanya Ulusal Bankası konferans salonundayız. Bugün burada 16. Uluslararası Osmanlı Ekonomi ve Sosyal Tarihi konferansının açılışı başlayacak. Biraz sonra. 16. Uluslararası Osmanlı ekonomik ve sosyal hayatı ile ilgili konferansa Avrupa'nın değişik ülkelerinden 90 civarında ilim adamı katılacak ve konferans 4 gün devam edecek. Bu arada konferansın açılışı için Romanya Merkez Bankası'ndayız şu an. Merkez Bankası da bu gelecek 90 ilim adamına yönelik olsa gerek ki Merkez Bankası ile ilgili bir fotoğraf sergisi açmış bu salonda. Şimdi bunu birlikte gezelim. Merkez Bankası'nın tarihini anlatıyor fotoğraflarla. Eski şehir meydanında, merkezinde bulunuyor Merkez Bankası. Romanya'nın önemli bir bölgesi. Evet. ...17 Şubat 1935 tarihli bir toplantıyı gösteriyor. 1924 tarihli bir görüntü. Merkez Bankası binasının mimari projesinin şefi ve inşaat halini gösteriyor. 1940'taki şu anki Merkez Bankası binası 1940'da yapılmış. Kartpostal fotoğrafı Merkez Bankası'nın. Balkan 1963 yılındaki görüntüsü. ...1917.
And it is again my pleasure to see you finally in Bucharest. This is the 16th Congress of Ottoman Social and Economic History, an event which has been organizing since 1977, and it was founded by Halil Inalcik, our Vice of the Ottoman Studies. And we are organizing in his honor, in his memory as well, this event. I have to thank first of all to the International Association for Ottoman Social and Economic History because they decided to bring the Congress in Bucharest. For the very first time when such an event is organized dedicated to Ottoman studies, and I'm sure it won't be the last event, and everything will go smoothly this week. So, officially opening right now, Your Excellencies, dear professors, dear colleagues, dear guests, dear students, as well, welcome to Bucharest, welcome to ICOSEC 2016. If I can have a PowerPoint, it would be much more better. Thank you very much. Except the association, I have to thank the University of Bucharest, which supported us in the organization and immediately welcomed our idea of organizing the Congress here. And they gave all the support, as well as the Faculty of History. Of course, we will see tomorrow our premises for the moment. Passing by, you also see that the main building of the University of Bucharest is under renovation, so next time we'll be able to welcome you in a beautiful renovated building in the very center of Bucharest. But for the moment, the most important thing, as I said, is that you are here. What is ICOSEC 16 in Bucharest? It's a meeting of 90 scholars from almost all over the world. I hope I didn't miss any country, excuse me if it happened, but from our counting in the program, we have participants from Bulgaria, Greece, Hungary, Turkey, Croatia, Austria, Germany, France, United Kingdom, United States of America, Canada, Japan, Israel, and Romania, of course. What I'd like to do in the next minutes is to tell you a little bit where we are and who we are at the same time. For the past several weeks, you've seen our posters circulating around. What was the idea behind working with my team, which is mainly formed of students from a Circle of Oriental History, meaning great lovers and everything means Oriental history from the Danube to Japan. We tried to put in the poster also glimpses of Ottoman heritage in Bucharest. It is not always very visible, this Ottoman heritage, but that's maybe more exciting and challenging to find and talk about it. So basically in the background of our poster, you see an E. What is more symbolic probably for economic and social relations between the Romanian principalities and the Ottoman Empire than trade and people coming around. And as I said, behind it's an image and an engraving from the 19th century of Hanul Manuk. Manuk's Inn, an inn which was built at the beginning of the 19th century and were very important, for example, for the history of international relations. The Treaty of Bucharest of 1812 was signed, and the place where tonight we'll celebrate in a festive mood the opening of the Congress as well. On the other hand, of course, tulips are always present when we talk about the Ottoman Empire, and we managed to find tulips in Bucharest as well from the 18th century in a residence near Bucharest, the Mogoșoaia Palace, which was built by Constantin Cucomeanu, Acumbe, as we found him in the Ottoman documents. One fresco was kept. There were several renovations of this building, which has Ottoman and Venetian architectural style, but still in some corners you can spot a little bit of Ottoman influenced art from the 18th century. And these are the tulips you'll see all these days on your folders, on the posters, and so on. And I mentioned inn as a symbol of socio-economic history and the connection with the Ottoman Empire. Where we are, it's here at the National Bank of Romania, but like mid-19th century, the situation was different. All this area of old Bucharest was conquered by different inns, caravanserai or just khans, here exactly where in the 1880s the National Bank was built in an effort to modernize and change the image of the capital of independent Romania at that point. It used to be the largest inn in Bucharest, Șerbani Golden Inn. And you can see on the other side, actually, of the building, some reminiscences which were presented by the archaeologists who did all the work to rediscover this part of the history of the area. And in the image, I don't know if I can spot, but well, where is the biggest square on the map from the 19th century, in the very center, there exactly we are. As I said, it was the largest. And on the other side, with the red spots, one of them is Sharman Inn, but the rest are some of the inns which were also made visible, or at least traces of them, by work of archaeologists who brought once again closer to us the common past between the Romanian municipalities and the Ottoman Empire. And we all know this information. We got an exhibition which took place 3 years ago, the Museum of Bucharest, very close to the place we are right now, which was called the Forgotten Inns of Bucharest. And they were mentioning basically that in 19th century there were around 145 inns in Bucharest. Of course, not all of them in this area, all around the city and some the markets, I would say, of Bucharest as well, of different dimensions, of different profiles, but still a city, I would say, of inns. And of course, no surprise, like the first information about the inns of Bucharest were given by who else? The famous Ottoman traveler Elias, who of course passed by Bucharest as well. And in the 17th century, he mentioned that there were 7 merchant inns and 1 caravanserai with 50 rooms in Bucharest. On the photos on the top, you will see how it used to look, Sharman Inn, and other examples in around this area, which basically we're going to cross this afternoon just to arrive to Hungary money. I'm sure more details you'll learn for those who will join our guided tour to the National Bank of Romania Museum this afternoon, so I won't speak longer about this aspect. Just as much notice for the participants, you might have noticed that in your bag you have a small gift from us, and it's a gift which was realized especially for the participants of the Congress in a key area like 300 kilometers north from Bucharest in Vâlcea County. Horezu ceramics are the most famous ceramics in Romania and the ones who are inscribed in UNESCO, in represented list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. And we thought that immediately when we think about Ottoman Empire, these new ceramics, and everything that coming to our mind, a little memory from the Congress in Bucharest is offered also by this little present was prepared for you in the bags. And who we are, Center for Turkish Studies, the local organizers of this event. And it's a very important moment for us because we are celebrating this year the 40th anniversary of existence and promoting the role of promoters of Ottomanist and Turkish studies in Romania. And exactly 10 days ago, I would say, on the 26th of June, it was the anniversary of our center. So we have this possibility now and opportunity, I would call it at the same time, to celebrate all together this important year for us. And just to remember those moments, the 26th of June 1985, so from our archive, just one page, exactly from the inaugural meeting, some of the participants are with us in the room. Professor Borgescu was there, Professor Gael Panaide was there, Dorin Matei, also from and I'll just say that the beginning of the journey, so it looks like the journey was successful and we arrived in the 14th year of the center. And the first presentation was dedicated to Dimitri Anatomy, no surprise, and because it was also the year when the Jude discovered the manuscript of History of the Ottoman Empire, Dimitri Anatomy. And on the image you see the founder, Professor Mikhail Maxim, who was the director of our center until the end of his life in 2017, and to his memory host this event. I'm sure that he's watching from somewhere and he's pleased to see that the center is continuing its role in promoting Ottoman and Turkish studies, bringing together specialists, scholars and students as well, so probably we'll have the opportunity, and this is my hope, to celebrate 50 years in the center, 60 years, 100 and so on, but it's up to the students for 100. Among these signatures, some very important names in the field of Ottoman-Romanian relations. Their contributions are to be found in libraries not only in Romania but around the globe, like Mikhail Bogdan or Mustafa Ali Mehmed, or plenty are Regin Kunda, as I said, and so on, Kasim as well. So what it was essential for my knowledge is the fact that the center brought together, and we are keep doing this today, especially not only from the University of Bucharest, but also from the main museums in Bucharest and in the country, from the main universities. Everybody had enjoyed the spirit of Ottoman studies as well. I was a student in my first year at the university, and the first event I participated at the center was the moment when Halil Nalcic received the title of Doctor Honoris Causa of the University of Bucharest. One more connection between the Congress, the association, and our center as well. I managed to find this picture from that moment. He also delivered a conference at our faculty, and again, many people in this room today were present at that event as well. As I said, our faculty is under renovation, so next year I hope we are going to cut the ribbon once again for the Center for Turkish Studies. We like ceremonies, we like all kinds of events, and especially cutting the ribbons seems to be our thing, because it has started in 1985 as Laboratory of the Ottoman Studies, and then it continued after 1990 as Center for Turkish Ottoman Studies, and from 2003 it was renamed Turkish for Center Studies, all the transformation decided by Professor Maxim, of course. And I chose that pictures from two moments when our center was generously renovated with the help of the Embassy of Turkey at Bucharest and also Kita. So let's see next year how it's going to be our new place. But just to give you an idea where I was supposed to welcome you in our little, we call it little Turkey, sometimes little Ottoman room, depends, at the Faculty of History, ground floor, room 8, as we use the name as well. And of course all of us are missing along the place. It might look empty in these pictures, but what we'll show you in the following minutes, because it's difficult to choose from 40 years of activity, it will be a short film with some of the events we organized. Technology, it helps us to recover images for the past 10-15 years, unfortunately, so anyone who has images basically from the 80s and 90s would be grateful if you get add to our archive. Radesh? Ambassador of the Republic of Turkey to Bucharest to address his message, a very good friend of ours, and I'm really grateful he is with us again today.
Silvana, thank you very much for your wonderful introduction. Looking at these pictures, I can see the history of Turkish studies already, and it's been 40 years. So many people have put their effort and work to all the good progress that was put forward, and I would like to thank you in your person to everybody who contributed to this. Distinguished professors, Madam Ambassador, scholars, dear guests, it is with great pleasure that I join you today for the opening ceremony of this important Congress. Nearly half a century ago, in 1977, when the first Congress was held in Ankara, the late Professor Altan laid the foundations of this tradition. I would like to take this moment to commemorate Professor Ünalcık, one of the greatest legends of Ottoman history. His legacy lives on through continued efforts of this scholarly community and through the generations of researchers he inspired. We honor his memory with deep respect and gratitude. It is particularly fitting that this Congress is taking place in Bucharest, a city and a country with historical ties to the Ottoman economic and social history, which gave the name to this tradition of the Congresses. We are grateful to our Romanian friends for their hospitality. Also, we appreciate the role that Romanian scholars have played in building bridges between our academic communities. Moreover, I'm delighted to see that among us there are many prominent Turkish academics who came from all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the Congress is an important occasion to share recent studies, findings, and evaluations with the academic community who work on the Ottoman Empire. Studies on the Ottoman history are as relevant as ever at this point in time, not only for Turkey, but also for all those who have histories intertwined with the Ottomans. Ottoman Empire was not only a political entity that spanned continents and centuries, but it also represented a dynamic society with evolving economic systems, cultural interactions, and administrative structures. The Ottoman Empire was in many respects a mosaic of peoples, cultures, and economies and geographies. Its long-standing interaction with the Southeast Europe, the Middle East, North Africa, and beyond created legacies that are still visible today in our languages, our urban spaces, our legal systems, and even in the culinary traditions that we enjoy every day today. Understanding the social and economic undercurrents of this vast empire helps us to not only past, but also the enduring patterns and topics that shape the present. As a Turkish ambassador, I am proud to see the Ottoman social and economic history continues to be a field marked by intellectual vitality and international collaboration. In a time when global challenges continue to test the bonds between nations, initiatives like this Congress remind us of the enduring value of dialogue, scholarship, and mutual respect. They reinforce the idea that history is not a collection of distant events, but a living discipline that informs how we view each other and ourselves. I sincerely hope that the discussions and collaboration that begin here will not only enrich our understanding of the Ottoman past, but also pave the way for new partnerships across borders and disciplines. And we do have new partnerships. For example, the partnership that we have between Turkey and Romania today. It has never been stronger. We are enjoying $13 billion of bilateral trade. which is where our target is 20 billion in the span of a few years. This is an amazing volume. It means that we are making business with Romania per capita the same as we do with Germany. This is the scope of our partnership. And it's not only trade, of course. It's Turkish businesses are making a great contribution to real business, Ekonomi real. If you go out of Bucharest, you will see countless number of factories that are an example of Turkish-Romanian joint partnership. Our companies are helping build the infrastructure of Romania. It's a win-win. And in the span of 10 years, we will be seeing a Romania which is much better connected inside and out. It will be a wonderful, wonderful cooperation, also thanks to our companies. And recently, last but not least, of course, we have a deep, deep strategic partnership with Romania. We started in 2011, and it is not a strategic partnership just in words. It is also in deeds. Our militaries are working together. Of course, there are so many issues that we have to discuss today. What's happening in Ukraine, what's happening in Marea Negra, Black Sea, what's happening in the Balkans. This is all a big framework that requires our countries to work together. Of course, today we are discussing about the Ottoman history, but I'm sure 100 years from now, they will discuss our partnership today. It's very valuable. In 2028, Turkey and Romania will have diplomatic relations for 150 years. And I'm sure the Turkish studies will do amazing events. I don't know if I will be here. Yes, absolutely. But I think we have to work on an agenda to really honor this partnership. And I am really so positive for our countries working together in this region and beyond. It gives me every day a lot of energy to do more. Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you very much.
To continue our partnership. I forgot to mention that the last Congress, the 15th Congress of Economic and Social History, took place in Zagreb. And it's my pleasure to thank today to Her Excellency Maria Kapitanovic, the Ambassador of the Republic of Croatia, who came and is with us at the opening. Thank you once again, Ambassador. As I said, we couldn't do anything without the University of Bucharest, and it's my pleasure to welcome Professor Bogdan Murgescu, who's the Vice Rector of the University of Bucharest, but even more important for us, he's a Professor of Economic History at the Faculty of History, University of Bucharest, a member, as I said, of the Center for Turkish Studies from the very beginning, and for a while he used to teach also Ottoman history. Some of us were his students as well. Professor Murgescu,
Thank you very much. It is a great pleasure for me to meet you here. It's on behalf of the University of Bucharest and our rector, Professor Marian Preda, who is now in another location trying to figure out how to budget the university, which is complicated in nowadays Romania, but I would also like to thank the International Association for Ottoman Social and Economic History that they agreed to have this Congress in Romania and in Bucharest especially. It's an honor for us and a great chance for my colleagues to develop, to show first our institution, but also to develop partnerships and to network and to further their own research and the research of the Ottoman social and economic history as a whole. Thank you very much. I want also to thank to the National Bank of Romania for agreeing to host this part of the Congress. The National Bank of Romania is an institution which shares to a very high degree social responsibility and has a tradition of helping educational and cultural institutions and projects. And I would like to thank them because now, due to the renovation of our historic building, we were not able to host in our premises. The National Bank of Romania has agreed to host us here in this beautiful conference room. You will also have the opportunity to see the museum, if you are interested in it, of the National Bank, and it is a very nice exhibition, and I encourage you to view it. I would also like to thank my colleagues and the staff of the organization. The staff being formed by students and administrative personnel. I remember that when the center was founded, I was an undergraduate student. At that moment, my friend Dori Matei was closer to the problems and problem solving of building this center. But at that moment I was just an undergraduate student and who was passionate about Ottoman history and tried to figure out how the Ottoman past intermingled with the Christian Europe and the Romanian principalities in the 16th, 17th and 18th centuries. It was a passion which put me also in the situation to teach Silvana and others at moments when there was need for this. Even if I am not truly a complete Ottomanist, I still know some words and a lot about what has been written in the field, but still you know it better, and I hope you will have here the best opportunities to present your expertise and to exchange ideas with colleagues from different parts of the world. I wish you a successful conference, and hopefully we'll meet again at some moment, either in Bucharest or in other places. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now my colleague Elias was part of the organization. He's also the Secretary General of the Association of Ottoman Economic and Social History. And we spent many hours online, Zoom, email, organizing this event. So please, Elias.
Your Excellency, dear professors, dear colleagues, on behalf of the board of our association, the International Association for Ottoman Social and Economic History, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to our 16th international meeting. This marks 48 years since the first conference of this association in Ankara in 1977, and we have continued to gather every 3 years since, barring a few skip years. I don't know if you remember the term from Ottoman economic history, swish years. The years lacking because of the discrepancy between the Ottoman fiscal calendar and the Ottoman Islamic calendar. So we missed a couple of years, but we did 16 conferences in 48 years, starting from Ankara, 1977, 1980 Strasbourg, France. Jean-Louis Paquet-Ramon and Paul Dumont organized this conference. 1983 Princeton, United States. Keith Lowry and Ralph Haddocks. They also edited the proceedings. 1986 Munich, Germany. Hans-Georg Mayer and Raoul Motika. 1989 Istanbul, Turkey. 1992 Aix-en-Provence in France. Daniel Parizak the proceedings. 1995 we met at Heidelberg, Germany. Raoul Motika, Mr. Herzog and Michael Ursinus. 1998 Bursa, Turkey. Proceedings edited by Nurcan Tavlaci. 2002 Dubrovnik, Croatia. 2005 Venice, Italy. 2008 Ankara. 2011 Rex, Austria. 2014 Alcalá, Spain. 2017 Sofia, Bulgaria. And 2020 Zagreb, Croatia, just to come to Bucharest for the 16th conference. Now it looks like an impressive achievement through half a century in Ottoman studies. The aim of our association is to announce during these conferences our current research, discuss historiography, how we are trying to make sense of history, of Ottoman history, but also, and this is no less important, to create between us ties of professional collegiality and solidarity. This is a precious moment. I think everybody understood that after the COVID years. It's a very precious moment for all of us to meet in person and exchange ideas about Ottoman studies and socialize at the same time. I would also like to take this opportunity to extend our sincere thanks as an association to the local organizers for hosting us here in Bucharest, especially to our board member Professor Silvana Rachieru, for her dedicated efforts in making this event possible, and this is no easy task in our days. The point of organizing this conference as well is to make known, to know and make also known the local Ottoman studies in every country, international association goes. And this is a great opportunity for us to get to know, and thank you, Silvana, the center, your excellent Center of Turkish Studies. It's a rare opportunity for, I can say, I'm from Greece, we're also provincial, from the provinces of the Ottoman Empire to contribute, and sometimes you get surprises, very good surprises from the provinces. It's not only the big centers of knowledge that can provide cutting-edge research. His Highness the Ambassador said that the Ottoman Empire was a mosaic of people, and we have a shared history. A lot of the people from the Balkans and the Middle East under the Ottomans. The Ottoman Empire was not only a Turkish Empire. It was something much more interlinked as a historical event, and this is an opportunity for our association, also a mosaic of people and academic traditions, to make our shared history and our contribution to historiography. I was supposed to introduce the president of our association, Professor Elias, who would deliver the keynote address for this conference. Unfortunately, Linda, her flight was cancelled, and she will arrive in a couple of hours, so we will have to reschedule her keynote address, probably as a closing event to this conference. We apologize about that. I would, as the Secretary General of the board, I would like to remind you that on Wednesday, you can also be members of the association. You can participate in the General Assembly, where we elect the Executive Board, which elects the boards. These were the rules set up by the all, and we abide with them. Come, participate, and let's make together the future of Ottoman social and economic history. Thank you very much.
The first books were printed in and nearby Bucharest. More precisely, in Sălătino II at the Snagot Monastery, which is a couple of less than an hour away from Bucharest. The first Arabic book outside of Western Europe was printed, and basically the first Arabic printed book in the Ottoman Empire. And a year later, in 1703, in Bucharest, there was also another Arabic book printed, after which the technology was transferred to Aleppo in Ottoman City. So the project has been ongoing since July 2021, which has celebrated 4 years of existence. It will be going for another year and next year in July. We have a numerous team. Usually we are more than 50 members of the team. And although we are mainly concentrating on Christian Arabic books, of